This is a chocolate chip cream cheese loaf cake with an extra flavor kick from delicious nutty butterscotch notes of brown butter. Each bite of this cake will be a treat for your taste buds. Let's begin. You'll first start off by making a brown butter. I would recommend making this the night before because it does need time to set completely in the refrigerator, and then you need to get it to room temperature the next day like you would if you were using plain butter. So I will take some butter in a saucepan and I will melt it first, and then on the lowest heat setting I'll continue to cook this while swirling the saucepan around constantly. You'll start to notice that the butter starts to bubble away like this, and then it starts to brown eventually. You want to keep an eye out and not go away from the saucepan when you're making this brown butter. You also want to take a slightly higher amount of butter when making the brown butter because the water content in the butter will evaporate. You will continue to cook this butter on a low heat. Don't be tempted to cook on a high heat because it can go from brown to burnt very quickly. You'll start to notice that the surface of the butter starts to turn brown like this, and that's when you will take it off the heat. You will also smell the nutty butterscotch notes from this butter. Once you take it off the heat, keep swirling the saucepan around while weighing it because you do want to get the caramelized milk solids in this as well because they are packed with flavor. We'll measure 150 grams of this, and then you will pop this in the refrigerator to set firmly, and once it has set firm, you will leave this at room temperature so it's nice and soft. So as you can see, it is solid but softened, and that is exactly how you want it to be. And this is exactly why I would recommend that you prepare the brown butter ahead of time so it has had plenty of time to set in the refrigerator and then come up to room temperature. This golden brown butter single-handedly completely transforms the flavor of your chocolate chip loaf cake. Just give it a try and I promise you're going to love it. So you'll pop this in the bowl of your stand mixer. You can also take it in a large glass bowl and use electric beaters. Now into this I will also sift in some icing sugar or confectioner's sugar. It's very important that you sift in the icing sugar because icing sugar tends to have several lumps that don't integrate well with the butter. So if you don't sift it, the lumpy bits may not disintegrate, and that can affect the final texture of your cake. Once you have sifted the icing sugar or confectioner's sugar, you will also add some honey. Honey is a kind of an invert sugar which helps add more moistness to your cakes. Into this then you will also add some vanilla extract, and now I'll go in with my paddle attachment first on the lowest speed setting just until the icing sugar is well integrated with the brown butter, honey and the vanilla extract. You want to be very careful that you don't whip this on a high speed from the get-go, otherwise the icing sugar will go flying all over the place. You will be now creaming the butter and sugar for a good 10 minutes, but you won't go in for 10 minutes in one go. You'll mix it on a medium-high speed for 5 minutes first, and then you'll scrape down the sides and the bottom of the bowl so that everything is well combined, and then you'll go back in on a medium-high speed for about 5 more minutes. So on my stand mixer, which has a speed range of 1 to 10, I use speed number 8 to whip the butter and sugar for 10 minutes, scraping down the sides and the bottom halfway through. After 10 minutes, I'll scrape down the sides and the bottom once more, and now I'll add in some room temperature cream cheese. Cream cheese in a cake batter completely transforms the texture and the flavor of the cake, making it more tender and moist, giving it a very superior flavor and almost melts in your mouth. So don't forget to add some cream cheese in there. After you've added the cream cheese, you'll mix on a medium-high speed again for about 2 minutes until it's well integrated. You will start to notice that this batter looks incredibly voluminous and fluffy, and also looks very velvety and glossy. After about 2 minutes, you will turn off the stand mixer and scrape down the sides and the bottom of the bowl once more. And now we'll start adding eggs a little at a time. I am using 3 room temperature eggs, and I will add them one at a time into the batter and wait until it has mixed with the batter before adding the next one. You don't want to add all the eggs in one go, or else it may overwhelm the cake batter and it may not mix uniformly with the entire batter, which is not good because that will affect the final texture of the cake. After you've added all the eggs, crank up the speed again to medium-high and mix for 2 minutes. And at this point, the batter emulsifies. It may look broken or split, and if that happens, do not worry at all. We are going to be adding dry ingredients next, so that will help re-emulsify the cake batter. This looks absolutely perfect, and now we'll start adding in our dry ingredients. So I will be sifting in some all-purpose flour, a little bit of baking powder and some salt. Most of the leavening is done at the point of creaming the butter and the sugar, which is why we cream it for 10 full minutes. That helps aerate the butter and the sugar. And then we add the slightest amount of baking powder just to give it that little push and help it rise beautifully in the oven. After you've sifted in your dry ingredients, you will start mixing it on the lowest speed for just about 10 to 15 seconds. And during this time, you will add in a little bit of milk. It's just about 10 grams of milk, which is at room temperature, which you'll add. And then you'll stop your electric beaters. And now it's time to add our mix-ins. So here I have some chocolate buttons which have 57% cocoa solids. I won't add them directly into the batter because otherwise they'll sink to the bottom, and so I will coat them in about a teaspoon of all-purpose or plain flour so that they stay where they are once they are added into the batter. And so this ensures that every slice of your chocolate chip loaf cake is studded with melting pools of chocolate chip in every single bite. Once you've added the chocolate chips into the batter, just fold it very gently. You want to ensure that the chocolate chips are well distributed throughout the batter, but you also don't want to overmix the batter at this point. You will start adding it to your loaf tin. I have a 7-inch loaf tin here that I've greased really well and lined one side with parchment paper with overhangs to help release the cake very easily once it's baked. I will gently shuffle the tin around to help distribute the batter evenly, and then I'll tap it gently against the work surface to release any air pockets, and then I'll also use my offset spatula and spread out the batter as evenly as I possibly can. Now this will go in the oven at 150 degrees Celsius or 300 degrees Fahrenheit for about 1 hour. I like to bake this on a slow, gentle heat because at a higher temperature, the brown butter and honey could cause the crust of this cake to burn. You want to bake this cake until a skewer knife or a toothpick inserted in the center comes out clean. Then you let it sit in its tin for about 20-25 minutes and then run a palette knife or a sharp knife along the edges to release the cake. You let that cool down completely on a wire rack, and once it has cooled down thoroughly, you'll make the chocolate glaze. So in this microwave safe bowl here, I have some cream and chocolate that I will melt at 30-second intervals in the microwave until it is very smooth, velvety and glossy. You want to be sure that you're doing this at 30-second intervals and not all in one go, or it could burn the chocolate. You'll then also sprinkle a generous helping of sea salt in there to help balance out all the flavors and let it cool a little bit, and you will then pour this generously over your cooled cake. Once you're happy with the glaze and the drips, you will let the glaze cool down and set on the cake. And then it's time to cut into this cake. This is an absolute showstopper of a cake, and it goes so perfectly well with a cup of tea or coffee. You will now slice into the cake once the glaze has set completely, and just look at how amazing this chocolate chip cream cheese pound cake looks. You can see the chocolate chips are dotted throughout the surface of the cake slice, and so every bite of the cake gives you these amazing little melting pools of chocolate chips with the nutty butterscotch flavor notes from the brown butter. The flavors are balanced so well. The texture of the cake itself is melt in your mouth tender, and the chocolate glaze just ties everything together. Now, if you like this chocolate chip cream cheese loaf cake recipe, I think you're going to love this playlist of all the most delicious pound cake recipes that I have made on my channel so far. Enjoy and happy baking!